Hello friends, welcome back. We are discussing about constitutional bodies. This is the part third of the series. So today we are going to discuss Finance Commission. In the previous video we have discussed about comparison of UPSC, state PSCs and JPSCs. So Finance Commission is another constitutional body which is formed according to the provisions of the Constitution. So the provisions of Finance Commission is discussed in article number 280 and 281. So article 280 it talks about the Finance Commission, and article 281 it talks about the recommendation of Finance Commission. Then Finance Commission it is called as a quasi judicial body. Now why it is called quasi judicial body is because Finance Commission it has a power to ask any person concerned or any government department to produce any document which is relevant for the purpose of analysis of data related to finance, or you can ask any concerned person to give statement in reference to financial condition. That is why it has a called as quasi judicial body. Then Finance Commission it is constituted by President every 5th year or earlier as he may decide. So President has the power to form a Finance Commission. Usually he forms the Finance Commission every 5th year, or he can form prior to 5 year also if he decides so. Then composition of Finance Commission. So just like your UPSC, the composition of Finance Commission contains a chairman and it has 4 other members. Now these both members, that is the chairman and other members, they are appointed by the President of India, and the term of their service it is specified by the President itself. So it is at the discretion of President. Reappointment of these members is possible. We have seen in UPSC and state PSC and JPSC the reappointment was not possible for the second term. However, in Finance Commission it is possible for the members to be reappointed again. Then what is the qualification to become the chairman or the members of Finance Commission? So our constitution it does not talk about qualification. It has not decided any qualification. However, it has given this authority to Parliament, who can determine the qualification of the members of the Finance Commission. So accordingly, the Parliament has determined the qualification for chairman and the other members. So for chairman, the qualification required is he should be any person who has experience in public affairs. So any person who has a good experience in public affairs, they are eligible to be appointed as chairman. Then in order to be the member of Finance Commission, the qualification given are that the member should contain from following categories. That is, either he should be judge of a high court, or he should be a qualified to be a judge of high court. So any member who is a judge of a high court or qualified to be the judge of high court, they can be appointed as member of Finance Commission. Similarly, person who has a good knowledge of finance and accounts, they can be appointed as the member. Also, member who has a good experience in financial matters and in administration, they are eligible to be appointed as the members of the Finance Commission. Also, lastly, a person who has a special knowledge of economics, they can also be appointed as the member of Finance Commission. So there are 4 categories from which the members can be appointed. That is, either he should be a judge of high court, or he should have good knowledge of finance and accounts, should have experience in financial matters or administration, and should have special knowledge of economics. Then let us see what are the functions of Finance Commission. So the primary function of Finance Commission is to give recommendations to the President of India in following matters. So what are the matters? The matters are related to finance itself. So first one is distribution of net proceeds of taxes. We all know that most of the taxes they are collected by the center, that is the union government. And then from these taxes, the different states they get its share based on the recommendation of finance commission. Finance commission at times they have recommended 40% or 38% of the total share to be divided in the among the states. So distribution of net proceeds of taxes is the function of finance commission. Secondly, how much grants in aid should be given to the states, that is also decided by the finance commission. Now grants in aids they form the part of the consolidated fund of states, which can be given to the municipalities and panchayats. So how much of those aids should be given to different states is decided by the finance commission. Thirdly, measures needed to increase the consolidated fund of states can be recommended by the finance commissions. So what are the measures which required in order to augment the consolidated fund of states is recommended by the finance commission. And lastly, any other matters referred by the president relating to finance can be looked by the finance commission. So that was the function of the four important functions, that is distribution of net proceeds of taxes, grants in aids to states, measures needed to increase consolidated fund of states, and any other matter referred by president. Now till 1960, that is till 10 years from the formation of finance commission. Finance commission, it was founded in the year 1950, right? So till 1960, that is 10 years, the finance commission had suggested that certain states, that is four important states of Assam, Bihar, Odisha and West Bengal, they should be given grants with respect to depending upon the export duties of the jute, because these were the major producers of jute. So most of the factories of the jute in those days, it was located in the Bengal region, that is the part of Bangladesh as is today. So a lot of exports was done from these four states. So finance commission has recommended that till 10 years these four states should get certain part as grants with respect to export duties of jute. Then let us see how the things work with finance commission. So the main role of finance commission is to prepare reports. So these reports, finance commission, they have to submit it to the president. So from finance commission the report is submitted to the president, and from president it goes to the parliament, that is both the house of parliament, along with the explanatory memo. What is explanatory memo? It is a memorandum where the members of the parliament of both the houses, they have to give explanation as to how they have acted upon the recommendation of finance commission. Now we have seen that finance commission, it mainly gives a recommendation, so it is just an advisory role, it doesn't have any power as such. So we have seen that finance commission, they give recommendations to the government of India, but these recommendations, they are not binding to the government of India. So if the government decides, it can go against finance commission. If finance commission says that 40% of the net proceeds of the taxes should be distributed among the states, then government of India not necessarily can listen to finance commission. He may give 38%. However, usually the government will listen to finance commission only in if it is justifiable. He will try to deviate from the finance from the recommendation of finance commission, because there will be a lot of opposition from the opposition party and criticism from the media and the general public. So usually the government, the ruling government, they go with the recommendation of finance commission. So our constitution, it has said that finance commission, it plays a balancing wheel of fiscal federalism in India. So that is the statement which is given regarding finance commission in the constitution. Now till the year 2014, there was another body which was known as planning commission. Now this planning commission was a very powerful body, although it was not a statutory body, neither a constitutional body, it was just an executive body, but it was very powerful. So it was noticed that there were lot of functions and responsibilities of Finance Commission which were overlapping with the Planning Commission. But in the year 2015, the Planning Commission was abolished and a new body, that is Niti Aayog, that is National Institution for Transforming India, was formed. So now most of these functions and responsibilities which were overlapping is gone primarily to the Finance Commission. Now lastly, we have to see some important finance commissions which can be asked in your exams. So we have to remember the name of the chairman and the year of appointment and which finance commission they headed. So the first finance commission, which was appointed in 1950, the chairman of first finance commission was K.C. Negi. Then fourth finance commission, which was formed in the year 1964, it was headed by Dr. P.B. Raja Mannar. Then 12th finance commission formed in 2002 and it was headed by Dr. C. Rangarajan. 13th finance commission formed in 2007, headed by Dr. Vijay Kelkar. 14th finance commission in the year 2014, not 2014, 2013. Although it is 14th finance commission, it was formed in 2013 and it was headed by Y.V. Reddy. And the recent one, that is the 15th finance commission, it was formed in the year 2017 and N.K. Singh is the chairman. So this is in news because he is currently heading the 15th finance commission, that is N.K. Singh. So these are certain names that you should be familiar: K.C. Negi, Raja Mannar, 4th finance commission; Rangarajan, 12th finance commission; Vijay Kelkar, 13th; Y.V. Reddy, 14th, and N.K. Singh, 15th. So that was all in finance commission. So in the next video we will discuss another constitutional body. Till then, goodbye, take care and have a nice day. Thank you so much.